All right, and we are back, and this time I have two guests on our couch for a conversation, or on our bench, I should say. And these are two amazing staff at Denver Rescue Mission, Asha and Jesus, and they work with our youth here at Denver Rescue Mission. And we've been talking a lot today already about youth and things like that. So I know we just played a video that talked a little bit about your why and why you do this, but tell us what it's like to work here at Denver Rescue Mission. And yeah, whoever wants to go first.
Absolutely, I can definitely kick it off. I think it's the best job in the world. I think we get to pour into who is going to shape the future. And I think there's no better investment than that. I think we get to remind our kids how resilient they are. I think we get to really, again, pour into them and give them the tools and assets that they need to succeed. And ultimately, same as our mission overall, right? To join society and to be productive and to really showcase like what they have to give to the world. And yeah, it's I don't know, it's every day is something new. We get to work with a pretty broad range of age demographics, but I think just getting to see them really blossom is the best part. And yeah, it's been a journey for sure.
Cool.
You wanna?
Yeah. I mean, working with kids is no 2 days are the same. That's for sure. But also your heart grows every time like you walk into our youth room. And I think any staff that walks in there can attest to this. When you see a smile on a child's face, especially because homelessness is a trauma that children are experiencing. So for them to just walk in there and feel safe is the best feeling in the world. When they feel comfortable talking to you, telling you about their day, just little things like that they might not be able to do with their parents right now because their parents are trying to like move forward with their lives and trying to get them out of here in the long run so that they're able to have a sustainable house and a sustainable home for their family. So sometimes that means that they're not having conversations with their kids every day. So for us to have those conversations, the kids are feeling seen, heard, validated, and loved. And that's what Christ wants us to do, is do everything in love. And that's what we get to do.
Yeah. And wow, that was a really loud car that's going by. So what age groups do we work with?
So I work with the younger kiddos, which is ages 5 to 11, and then Jesus has the teens, 12 to 18. But we also have our 0 to 4-year-olds who are around, so we get to see our babies sometimes. And we have our parent program, too, that we just launched, really following that 2-gen model. So we get really the whole family that we're working with, not just the kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say all ages, zero to infinity. We try to provide a robust program. I think, Asha, you mentioned it a little bit there, but that 2-gen model. So we're of the mindset that who's going to continue all the work and all the who's going to help them practice using those tools that we've taught them? Parents, right? Ultimately, these are... this is an approach that is going to be cross-generational. We can't have one without the other. The other one's not sustainable without that additional support. So, yeah, I think all ages is my answer. If anybody ever asks me, it's like, oh, yeah, what age demographic? All of them. Like, we are working as a unified
0
front.
to infinity.
0 to infinity, truly. And it's like the best feeling in the world. Yeah, it's cool to see. And like, the other day, I'll share this little snippet, not to get too far off on a tangent. We were at Denver Street School. Shout out to Patrick Fisher, acting executive director. He's running a great program out there. But we got to see some of our kids who used to live here. And, oh, my God, like, what an awesome thing to see that model work, that approach work, and how far they've come. It's actually been a couple of years since they lived here, so it's even predating me and Asha, but they just remember their experience here and what it meant to them. And yeah, it's really cool to be able to do this as a job. Fills our cup, I'm sure, but yeah, I hope that answers your question. But yeah, I got to see some kids that we used to live at the crossing.
Yeah.
If you guys are watching, keep going. You guys got this. You guys are doing amazing already. So just keep doing what you're doing.
And it's so important to also create space for a kid to be a kid, right? So their family is experiencing homelessness. This is a crisis. This is trauma. And yet the kids can go to these beautiful rooms if they're young, and they can have age-appropriate toys to play with. And you guys do a lot of activities with them and field trips and curriculum and things. And the teens, I mean, there's computers in there. There's things that teens love to do all in that room, which is just really, really cool. So Asha, since you have the microphone, one of my favorite stories about you is I was doing a tour. Do you remember this? Yes. So, and the backstory is a couple of weeks before this, I was doing a tour and I walked into the youth room and MC, right, who you guys work with, was there. And I'm like, well, why would I talk about the youth room? Let's have MC do it. And MC, just with her passion and you know, everything, was so cool. And then a couple of weeks later, I'm doing this tour. And I walk in and I'm thinking, I wonder if I'm going to see MC again. And MC wasn't there, but you come out of the room and I'm like, all right, Asha, why don't you tell us? And it was the same passion, the same energies, the same enthusiasm. So what gives you that, just that spirit to do this work?
I mean, there's the funny answer and the right answer. And the funny answer
Give
is
us both of them.
Childlike spirit. I definitely, that's how I keep up with the kids, and caffeine. But no, it's all about fueling yourself from the Lord. Yeah. Because it all comes from, like, people get burnt out so easily. And the great part about this organization and what we do that's so different than other nonprofits with kids is that we get to bring that spiritual side into the space. And I think it's really easy to get burnt out if you're not fueling yourself from the right spaces. But when it's stemming from the Lord and He's so present in everything that you're doing, it's just so easy to keep going. Yeah. Because it makes you, like, kind of go to that mindset of, like, these are God's children and we want to protect them. We want to make them feel safe and loved. And right now they don't feel that. And a lot of our parents aren't feeling that either. So it's hard when the parents aren't feeling that for the children too, because they're going home to a parent who's in survival mode. Yeah. So when they're with us, I'm like, I want to be the person that just smiles at you today. I want to be the person that makes you feel loved, like the love of God today. If you can't get that anywhere else, I'm going to do everything I can to make you feel that right now and make you feel His presence.
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
That was awesome. So both of you mentioned this parent component that we do. So I'd love to hear both of you talk a little bit about what are we doing with parents?
Yeah, I mean, I'll kick it off and then pass it over. So MC is our program manager. She's amazing. Shout out MC. But we started our parent program, so it's kind of got 3 different nodes at the moment. And the first one being a run club that she started just for our parents. So that, like, physical wellness side of getting our parents active, getting them moving, and that also will feed into our kiddos too, and getting the kids and family active together as well. And then we've got our parent workshops that we have going on Wednesday nights. And that's based on the Raising Highly Capable Kids curriculum. And it's amazing. DPS actually has teachers that come and they help watch the younger children. So the 0 to 4-year-olds that we don't have program for right now are having childcare so that their parents can work on how to be better parents for their kids and how to support them. And that touches on academic focus with their kids and how they can best support them academically. It touches on social emotional learning. It touches on raising overall resilient kids. And then the Crossing also, we have our finance workshops and workshops that the clinical team leads that our parents are a part of. So that's kind of the other piece of it, is just giving them as many skills as we can in education while they know that their children are with us and they're safe. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that covered it right there.
She covered it? Yeah.
No, truly. It's, again, part of that 2-gen model, and it mirrors the programming that we have across the family program. So we are building life skills with our teens in a very similar fashion. We partner with Young Americans Bank, and again, teach them how to budget, save, about credit, investing, and again, that mirrors the workshops that we do with our parents. So everyone's on the same page. Everyone has the same skill set and tool set, right? When we talk about kind of poverty mindset, right? Like, you know, I come from a lot of lived experience similar to some of our kids, and you contribute to your household. So that's what we model it after, and it's really cool. The parent program's relatively new, and we've seen some pretty drastic, I would say, change and a lot of enthusiasm around that offering. It's like Asha said, it's called Raising Highly Capable Kids, and that's what we're doing here at the Crossing.
And I think that's so important because when I listen to this, I'm hearing two things, right? On one level, we're helping that family and those kids leave homelessness. But the other thing that we're doing is we're breaking that cycle of generational poverty, because so often, I was sharing with somebody earlier that we know almost 49% of the middle-aged men that we work with in our shelters first experienced homelessness as a youth or a child. And it's so important to work with the entire family and with those children to break that cycle of poverty. And that's what you guys are doing, which is really cool.
Absolutely. I mean, trying to get as far downstream as possible. These kids, like you said, are actively experiencing homelessness already.
Yeah.
So we're trying to minimize the impact that that's having on them by providing like really fun, engaging programming, and they can walk away and say, dang, my time at the crossing was really fun. Like, this past summer I took kids to camp down in Rainbow Trails, down in West Cliff area, and one of the questions I asked of the kids as we were leaving, I was like, on a scale of 1 to 10, like, how do you rate this? He's like, a 9. He goes, no, a 10, a 10. And he goes, I don't want to go back. This is like the best thing ever. I was like, the cool part, you can come back. It doesn't you don't need me to bring you back.
Right.
And the same thing goes to the tools that we're building within these kids, right?
Yeah.
Ideally, we're instilling in both the parents and the child, and then they're practicing that together.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things that's probably the most rewarding thing to see when they give you that positive feedback, but also when they are able to utilize those tools all on their own and have that autonomy. And I think that's
very cool.
That's the best thing in the world. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like for the younger kids, and I saw this, like families get vacated for different reasons. But for the younger kids, they don't always understand what's happening. Mm-hmm. So a lot of the kids aren't aware of the fact that they're experiencing homelessness. And they've even said like, there's a roof over my head. What do you mean? Like, I'm not homeless, but I've just seen so many kids just trying to process everything that's going on. And even if they're leaving for different reasons, they're just not having that sense of awareness of what's going on, but they still look for connection.
Yeah.
And I think that that's so important. It's like, even if it's just that last moment before they leave, is they're reaching out to us, and we're able to, in that moment, tell them, you are not your circumstances. You are so much more than this one event in your life, and you're going to keep growing, and you're going to keep building. Yeah. And this is going to seem like a memory for you that you're able to reflect on and see strength and resilience in yourself.
Yeah.
So I think for like the kids program, that's really what it's all about, is helping them process their emotions and not let them get caught up in circumstance, because also they're not fully aware of it. So you can kind of use that to keep building the skills within that.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So question for each of you. Is there one story that sticks out in your mind that just really touched you, or just really was impactful?
I mean,
either one of you can go.
I'm going to go with camp for me. So I took our younger kids to camp. I took ages 7 was the youngest one that went with me, to 11 to camp for a full week. And for all of the kids, it was their first time at an overnight camp for more than 3 days. We were there for 5 full days, 4 nights with just me and the kiddos. I was the only person from Denver Rescue Mission that went, and I had the phone, so parents were like texting me, and camp was really hard for our kids. They were absolutely terrified and just were having a really hard time when we first got there. They wanted to turn around. They wanted to come back. They didn't want to talk to anybody. And I had all the girls with me in our cabin, and I remember the first night, one of the girls like threw up, like it was just miserable. Yeah. Everyone was like altitude sick, and they were all crying like, Miss Asha, like, why are we here? Like, why would we be put in this spot? Like, what is this? And I was like, guys, like, this is the Lord. Like, this is coming from him. Like, he's putting us in this situation for a reason. And then one of the kids goes, Jeremiah 29:11, God has a plan. And we had talked about it the week before in Bible study. And I was just like, oh my gosh, my heart. And that night we all slept on the floor, like, back to back. I had knees in my back. It was like dog pile of me and the girls. And the next morning we all woke up and were so tired. No one slept well. And we got to chapel at church, and they had us just pray over each other. And I remember one of the kids being like, Miss Asha, can we pray over you for a minute? Yeah. And I was like, whoa, like.
The kids did this.
Yeah, and I got to pray over them too. And we had kids that were about to move out and broke down crying, and we're just so grateful for their experience in the youth room, and they like, Miss Asha, like, we're praying for strength because you're protecting us, like, you're here with us, and we're so grateful for that. And I just broke down crying. But it was able to, for them to see that somebody loves them and cares about them. And also, I'm human, I'm not perfect,
right.
And my strength is stemming from the Lord. I think that they got to see that we all got to be really vulnerable with each other, which felt so amazing and safe.
Very cool. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, camp. Me too. I mentioned it earlier. What an impactful trust building exercise that was. I remember driving up there, hyping it up, super excited, probably more pumped than the kids. And then we got off, and you got introduced to their cabin mates. They got to pick out their counselor, and we then jumped into song on the hillside. And I remember they were looking back at me like, what did you bring me to? This is their first time experiencing camp for a lot of our kids. And I just remember, like, MC gave me similar advice to just kind of remind them, like, trust the process. Like, this is just the beginning. And then as the week progressed, again, just rebuilding that trust and resetting our nervous systems. Like, there's no better way, in my opinion, than to be out in nature and be disconnected. It was no phones. That was really tough for everyone, myself included. So it was a good exercise for me. But we did a lot of cool, fun activities that put people out of their comfort zones. Zip lining. We did whitewater rafting. Wow. One of the kids didn't know how to swim, and so I was in the boat with them, and I was like, I got you. I'm a pretty good swimmer. Our guide got you. We're going to take this leap of faith, right? And trust that this ultimately is going to be a positive experience that you carry with you. And I remember at the end of it, we were just all like high-fiving with our paddles, just having the time of our lives. And I remember one of our kids was ziplining, crushed the whole course, crushed it.
Yeah.
Froze on the last bit, the ziplining part down, to get down. And I think that's like a little bit of a metaphor for life. Right, like we're just kind of in autopilot. We're just going like this is fun, and then you kind of come to where you kind of slow down and you kind of look over and peer over, and it frightens you, whatever that might be for you. And we probably took 15 minutes just trying to be as encouraging and as positive as possible. And then all the other kids like saw this and like responded to it, and we're like, you got this, like complete strangers.
Yeah.
And they finally came down the zip line, screaming the whole way. I was working the ladder to get the kids down. Their feet touch the ground, and they start crying, like sobbing. And everybody just embraces them. And it's like the coolest thing to see. Like, you're carrying so much, you peer over the edge, you're fearful, but then this community wraps around you. And ideally, that's what this represents. Right. Like, everybody's kind of facing this really hard thing. The world is hard. It's scary. It's terrifying. But there are people who care about you, and there are people who love you unconditionally and will be there at the end of the terrifying thing and aren't going to go anywhere.
Yeah, that's right.
And so that was the coolest thing to see. And again, I think I mentioned, like, asking the kids, like, what do you rate camp? And they're just having, like, the coolest memories to walk away with, and driving down the mountain, right? As they call it, when you drive down the mountain. And we were all just like reminiscing, and I was like, I thought you guys hated it, so I'm so happy to hear that this is
so
like.
Glad you loved it.
I'm so glad you loved it. I was so fearful, and then we stopped for a bite to eat on the way. We just could not stop smiling from ear to ear, and so
cool.
That's my favorite memory so far, and I can't wait to make those memories as we head into holiday time.
Well, you guys are like warming my heart, because I was a camp director for a long time, and like I love camp, right? And the power of taking kids out to camp is so important. So Jesus, question for you. So early on in our time together, you referenced some lived experience, and I'm just wondering if you're comfortable sharing a little bit about what that was like.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'll kind of bear it all. I like to be as vulnerable as possible, because I think that's the only way to make meaningful connection. I think a catalyst for me was age 15. I injured my hand. I have a scar here, working construction with my dad. I had to have surgery for it, and they prescribed me hydrocodone, and I got addicted when I was 15. I didn't realize what it was, what it meant, but it kind of led me down this cycle where I was a really like high-functioning addict at a young age. And I was a good student, was pretty good, darn good athlete. I had my ups and downs, and then there was alcohol in my household, and it could be explosive at times. So all this was just building up over time, And when I reached age 17, I had my first panic attack. And I would just remember just how it felt. And not too long after, I just couldn't take it anymore. The feeling of addiction, the hiding it all the time, the pressures at home, the pressures externally in society, and I kind of went MIA for a while, right? I kind of experienced homelessness and figured it out and slept in a car, showered at gyms, and it was really formative. Up until I was 18, I could legally rent an apartment. So me and my best friend, shout out Alex, we got an apartment near our college where we were going to. So I was able to do that. I was always working at jobs, so that we got it figured out pretty quickly. But that definitely shaped me, and it really messed with my nervous system. And I just remember being really angry at the world for letting that happen to me, and for not really feeling like I had anywhere to turn to. And that carried into my life for a long time. And eventually, I was able to get into therapy. I was able to, again, have an awesome community that wrapped their arms around me. They were at the end of that zip line, ready to catch me, and embrace me. And like, thankfully, I'm here with you today, like, talking about it. And it's one of those things that I'm on the other side of the coin now, telling these kids, like, it's going to get better. I promise. Right. Trust the process. Right. Like, we're going to come down the mountain and we're going to be all right. But yeah, I mean, that's a little bit of it. Obviously, there's more layers to it, but to whoever's out there struggling with addiction, struggling with homelessness, I hope that you know that we're going to catch you at the end of the zip line. We'll come down the mountain, and you're going to be okay. And this is a place that you can do that, and we will wrap our arms around you and care for you. Will we challenge you sometimes? Absolutely. It's part of growth. That's part of caring for somebody, but we'll be here.
Awesome. Well, believe it or not, our time is up. But I am so grateful, not only for you guys coming on the bench and just sharing your hearts, but just for what you do every day and how you give back, and how you just do the work that we've been called to do at Denver Rescue Mission. And I know that you guys know this, but you are making a lifelong kingdom impact. And so thank you for all that you do. Thank you.
Thank you,
All
Dennis.
right. And we will be right back after a break.